Frustrated trying to write a series with AI? Well, I've got the blueprint for you. Hey folks, it's Ikello Herod here from the Future Fiction Academy, and I want to talk today about a problem that shows up all the time in AI-assisted storytelling, especially when it comes to writing a series. Not a single book, a full-on multi-book journey. Maybe it's a trilogy, maybe it's 6 books, maybe more. The issue is this. You think that AI is going to handle all of the heavy lifting for you. You figure that it's got memory, right? It can track characters, plot, threads, world building details, tone, theme, and everything else from book 1 to book 6. But the reality, not so much. AI is smart. It's powerful. It can help you write faster than ever before, but it needs guidance, especially when you're building something over multiple installments. Without that structure, your AI co-writer starts to drift. It forgets stuff, or worse, it starts solving problems too early. Characters lose their edge, plot points flatten out, the world stops making sense, and suddenly that exciting series you were building somehow starts to wobble under its own weight. That's why I want to introduce you to something called series blueprints. Now, before you roll your eyes and think I'm about to turn you into some kind of rigid outliner, let me just say this. This is not about killing your creativity. It's about building a scaffolding, a flexible, strategic framework that allows you and your AI to actually collaborate in a way that supports your vision instead of constantly derailing it. This blueprint is what lets your story breathe without falling apart. Let's start with the very first component, what we call our North Star. If you've ever heard of that term before in regards to storytelling, in context of storytelling, it simply means, what is the one question that sits at the heart of your story? Not your genre, not your hook, the core narrative question that you're building towards over the course of every single book. You might not answer it until the final chapter of the book. And that's the point. The question becomes the compass, not just for you, but for your reader, and yes, for your AI assistant. It might be a question like, can love survive when one partner is immortal and the other is human? Or maybe, will the magical and mundane worlds ever learn to coexist? Or even, who is the serial killer that's been dormant for 20 years and why now? It's the tension that holds the whole thing together. If you don't define this North Star at the very beginning, everything else starts to drift. So the first step in building your series blueprint is to define that big question and then write it down. Put it in a document, make it one of your active files, feed it to the AI repeatedly because it will forget. But when you consistently point back to that guiding question, you're creating continuity across your books. You're creating purpose. The second major piece of the blueprint is the emotional arc. And I want you to really sit with this idea because it's one of the things that separates great series from forgettable ones. A lot of writers approach series like they're just stacking books in a row. Book 1, book 2, book 3, and then done. In reality, your series is one long emotional journey. It should rise and fall with like it's a symphony. It should feel like one massive arc broken into stages. On the blog, Steph lays out this beautifully with 6-book emotional rhythm. It's a great model to start from. It works across genres. Book 1 introduces the world and the main conflict. Book 2 complicates everything. The stakes rise and nothing is simple. Book 3 hits you with a major revelation or a devastating setback. This is your low point, your all is lost moment. Book 4 is when your characters regroup. They find new footing. They come at the problem from a different angle. Book 5, things escalate. Everything is on the line now. And book 6, that's where the transformation happens. Your answers to your core questions and the characters are changed, all of them, forever by the journey that they've been on. Now, does every book series need to follow the exact beat map? No. But should you have some kind of emotional scaffolding across your books? Absolutely. Without that structure, AI will treat each book like it's a disconnected unit. It might make a satisfying single book, but over time, the tonal inconsistency and premature resolutions start to break the illusion. And that brings us to the final core section of the series blueprint, what we call the foundational pillars. These are non-negotiable. The elements of your story that need to stay consistent no matter how many books you write. They're not always plot related either. I mean, they often live beneath the surface like a theme, like a foundation. Those pillars might include your theme, like redemption or family, found family, or survival at any cost, or your world building rules like a magical system that only works during the day, or a society where dreams are taxed. You'll always want to define your tone. Is your series dark and brooding, snarky and fast-paced, hopeful and whimsical? Whatever it is, name it, lock it in, and then think about your core relationships. What bonds are at the heart of your story? Sibling rivalries, mentor-mentee dynamics, unresolved romantic tension. Those relationships are the emotional spine of your book. And finally, don't forget about reoccurring elements, symbols, metaphors, inside jokes, or artifacts that appear again and again. They give your series a sense of cohesion that readers feel, even if they can't always explain it. So, those are the 3 main components of the series blueprint: a guiding North Star question, a planned emotional arc across books, and a set of consistent fundamental pillars. When you bring those 3 things together on paper, in active documents as context for the AI, you're giving yourself a massive head start. And you're making it possible for AI to actually support your creative vision instead of undermining it. Now, everything I just talked about, that's just the beginning. The full blog goes even further. It talks about how to build a master timeline for your series, how to create a promise tracking system so that you don't accidentally drop major plot point threads or deliver a confusing anticlimactic ending. It also goes into how to build characters and world dossiers that your AI can understand and use effectively. And trust me, these techniques aren't just theory. This is the system we use every day at the Future Fiction Academy to create publishable, binge-worthy fiction in record time. So, if this spoke to you, if you've ever found yourself lost in the middle of book 2, trying to remember what eye color your villain had, or wondering if that side character is still alive, go read the blog post. It's packed with insight, examples, and simple tools you can use right away. You'll find the link in the description below.
You know, at the Academy, we believe that creatives should have control. It's also the same place where imagination and AI kind of combine into a superpower. We empower authors like you with the knowledge, with the tools to harness AI, giving you the control you need to bring your unique vision to life. We offer free classes, we offer standalone classes, we offer comprehensive classes. Over 100 comprehensive classes this year alone. And we also have a mastermind that gives you access to all of those comprehensive classes. And that mastermind is a vibrant community within itself. And to top it all off, we give you access to Raptorite and a much larger beast called Rexy. So join the Academy, and I will see you in class.